So, welcome to India, first of all. How's it going so far? How's the gig looking? Have you all been to the venue yet?
Yeah, we just did sound check over there. It looks great. We're all set up and ready to go. I'm glad we're playing once the sun's down because it's pretty warm right now. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. The festival site looks awesome, and good sound check. So we're really looking forward to an awesome show tonight.
So, you all are the founding members of the band. So, can you tell us how you all got together? I know it goes back a long time, but to hear it from you.
Well, we were in two bands that played shows together quite a bit in Buffalo, and we would go watch each other's shows and everything. We played around the local scene. Paul was in a band called Tyrant Sin along with Bob Russe, and Chris Barnes was in that band some of the time. Sometimes they had a different singer. And then me and Jack were in a band called Beyond Death. And anyway, we both of those bands were sort of, Tyrant Sin was more or less broke up, and Beyond Death was getting ready to break up. So I called up Bob Russe, and me and Jack had talked about it, and then I called Bob, and he got in touch with those guys, and we started jamming.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just, coming together, the demise of two bands, 5 guys coming together to form one band, and it happened to be Cannibal Corpse, and it is crazy to think that it's been, 26 years, going on 27 years?
That was December '88 when we first started jamming.
So, Jack Owens' departure from the band, how did that affect your sound?
Everybody who leaves they're gonna take the personality of their songwriting with them. So the songs that sound like Jack wrote them, we don't have those anymore, really. He had his own style, but Rob also has a style that works really well with the band. So, the character changes a little bit. I think that's good. I think it shows that we're the kind of band where everybody does have an input and nobody's expendable. Everyone who's ever been in the band really made a mark with their creativity in one way or the other. So if someone leaves, hopefully they get replaced by someone who's equally good in their own way.
Yeah, I think Jack wrote some great songs for us, and we still play some of those songs live, of course. It was an integral part of Cannibal Corpse, but like Alex was saying, Rob came into the fold, and, his contributions are incredible. He's written some great songs for Cannibal Corpse, and they're total Cannibal Corpse songs. So it's good to have that diversity, to have different songwriters throughout for the band, and not just relying on one or two people just to lead the way, to do everything. So it's good to have that diversity. But yeah, Jack leaving just opened the door for Rob, and we're doing better than we ever have. So I don't know if that means anything or.
So off late, your songwriting has gone to more groovier, chunky sort of songs from blast beat based riffing. Sorry.
Yeah. Tongue twister.
Alliteration. Yeah.
So how did that happen? What influenced you all to move to that?
I don't know. Part of starting to write a little bit slower songs, we really started that maybe around Gallery of Suicide, and I think by that point we were headlining all the time. We mostly have always headlined, but by that point people were wanting us to play like 75 minutes a night, and 75 minutes of just more or less one tempo can be, it's not as exciting as having some ups and downs. And same thing for an album, really. If you have 40 minutes, an album that's 40 minutes and it's all one tempo, that's not as interesting to me as something where there's multiple tempos, mid-paced stuff, some real slow stuff, some real fast stuff. So, we kind of, around Gallery of Suicide is when we started to make the shift towards having more variety. I think we always had some slower parts, but most of the songs were fast. Yeah. But then we started having some genuinely slower and more mid-tempo kind of stuff starting around 1998 and going forward.
Yeah, I think we were just getting a little more, wanting to get more diverse. I think when we were younger, it was just about the fury. We weren't thinking slow in any capacity. We were a fast band, And then, like Alex was saying, around Gallery of Suicide, the way I looked at it was we're just getting a little older. We're wanting to, to try something different, we can play heavy, but it doesn't have to be necessarily blast beats or super fast. It can have the groove, the song like saying Sentence to Burn being the one that, was a big one. going on that album, and from Skin to Liquid, being very brutal, heavy songs, but very different for Cannibal. So I think that just gave us more for our arsenal. Like, Alex is saying, we can throw some songs, that kind of break it up a little bit more. And we've been doing it pretty much ever since, I think, then, having a couple of, slow songs for us, I guess, but it really breaks it up and makes the fast even that much, faster, I guess. And it's good to have that diversity, though. So I think luckily we came around to want to do that. And, I think that's going to, give us a little more longevity, too. I think if we were playing, like we always did real fast in the early days, we probably wouldn't be up here right now. We'd probably be, very tired, and we'd have to stop or something.
It's the fast music is physically demanding. So having some breaks in there helps for sure. I mean, and plus we like that kind of stuff, so it works well for both things. Yeah.
So the fans seem to love it. Skeletal Domain was awesome. So how's the response been? How's the album been doing?
It's been doing really well, and a lot of people, say it's one of their favorites. I mean, we've tried to do that with every album, and most of the albums that we've done, pretty much all of them have been well received. This one, maybe it just seems a little different too, I think, because there's different production, and that does make a difference. Eric did an amazing job. Eric Rutan, produced the previous 3 albums, but Mark did an awesome job too. And just it sounding a little different, I think, helps create some kind of renewed interest. That's kind of part of the reason we did it, really. I mean, we love what Eric was doing for us, but to work with someone different, it just creates a different. It's more of a subtle difference, kind of, than an act. Our songwriting's kind of still what it normally is, but the sounds that Mark went for were just a little bit different than what Eric would go for, and I think that's part of the reason people are reacting to it the way they have.
And I think we were being also very meticulous. Not that we weren't in the past, but for some reason we just seemed to really be thinking of so many different facets, not just, okay, we got a song or a riff and we just moved on. It was, no, really, let's think everything through, are we happy with that arrangement or with that riff, or can something else be done in here? Let's experiment a little bit more. So we've seemed to be doing that much more than we've done in the past, which I think definitely crafts our songs even better, So, when I listen as a fan and I listen to the songs we've composed, I feel the kind of the progression or the just the maturity of the band, But I'm glad the fans notice as well, because we try our hardest at any given time. Like Alex was saying, every album we've gone into really trying to do our best, every song we wrote. But I just think we're getting better as we go. And I guess we're aging like fine wine here. We're getting better. Sort of. I mean, that's the way it seems. I mean,
we're definitely. We've never stopped trying to make each album the best one possible, and the goal is to make it the best one we've ever done. Whether or not we succeed, that's up to the fans to decide. But we've tried that with each one to make it the best one that we've ever done. We don't want it to be okay and just enough to get us by or something. We want it to be the best one.
So what does the set list look like today? Are we getting a mix of the older stuff and?
Yeah, definitely a mix. I mean, we know it's the first time we've ever been here, so we don't want to neglect the older records. So the first handful of albums, there's a few songs from those, and then from the middle too. I mean, we really wanted to make sure to cover our whole career in the set, and we generally do that. The set is usually not focused at the beginning or the end of the career or the middle. It's the whole thing. So a few songs from throughout.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting where we didn't come up with an Indian set list. It's not we play the set list that we play, but we want that set list to always be diverse, and we want it to span every record, because we feel they're all important, and there's fans that love all the records, so we feel they need to be represented. So that's what you'll hear tonight. Good representation of all eras of Cannibal Corpse. So.